so much for bearing with us through difficulties. We're definitely working through them. So I have been given the job and task of introducing Mr. Sean Norris, who's the president of TKS Capital Advisories. He's going to be our moderator for today. Mr. Sean comes with us as a corporate financial advisor and intermediary firm dedicated to providing access to capital for small, mid-sized businesses. Sean will oversee business development and manage all sales activities and operations in the role as president. He will also have a seat as a board member and will be on the executive and financial committees. For the last past 15 years, Sean has held commercial lending and business development roles to small and middle market prospects at JP Morgan Chase, First Horizon Bancorp, Campbell and Isaac and Company, and Pathway Lending. Also, Mr. Morris is an advocate and aggressively involved in alternative lending to include community and economic development lending to small businesses and lower middle market distressed companies as a way of inciting growth, job growth, and for local and regional economic development. Mr. Morris is a proud member of the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, and he sits on the board of the Boys and Girls Club of Memphis. The City of Memphis Center for City Revenue Finance Corporation, and the River City Capital. Again, everybody, Mr. Sean Norris.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate that, Lawrence. Thank you for the introduction. We've got two guys here who I think you really enjoy listening to, are very knowledgeable with broad-based experience. We got Hank Helton and Eric Robinson. I know both of them very well. I've always been impressed with them, work with them in different capacities. I want to talk about Hank and his background. Hank is one of the founding members of Pathway Lending, which was founded in 1999. He rejoined that organization in April 2007. Between that time, 2001 and 2007, he was appointed by the mayor of Nashville and Davidson County as the director of affordable housing and director of development at the Metropolitan Development and Housing Agency. Hank also has over 10 years of experience regulating financial institutions. While at the Fed Reserve Bank, he managed a portfolio of approximately $200 million in state member bank community development investments. He also worked with Neighborhood Reinvestment Corp, providing technical and management assistance to the National Neighborhood Works Network and developed investment products to attract capital for affordable housing and economic development efforts. He has a Bachelor of Science from Georgia State University in Atlanta in community planning and development with the concentration in finance, and is certified by the National Development Council as a housing and economic development finance professional. Welcome, Hank, and thank you for joining. Today, Hank and I are also joined by Mr. Eric Robinson. Eric is president of Community Lift, an organization that plays a critical role in helping Memphis to become a city of choice by concentrating human capital, economic and community development resources and efforts in distressed neighborhoods for maximum effect. Lift engages neighborhood residents, the business community, governments, schools, foundations, and nonprofits to build greater Memphis neighborhoods. To enhance Lift's ability to carry out its economic mission, it has an affiliate, River City Capital Investment Corporation, a community development financial institution, also known as the CDFI, that serves as a non-traditional lender to neighborhood businesses. As president, Eric is responsible for oversight of the two organizations, their budgets, and shared staff of highly talented, committed professionals. Mr. Robinson has over 20 years of experience in economic and community development. He served as a chief administrative officer for the Downtown Memphis Commission. Before joining the DMC, Mr. Robinson led housing and economic development programs at Lemoyne Owen College, Community Development Corp, in the historic Soulsville, USA neighborhood. His extensive involvement and commitment to Memphis includes serving on the board of the St. Louis Federal Reserve Memphis Branch Board of Directors. Guys, glad to have both of you here with me. You guys have done a lot of great and outstanding things. As far as, I work with you, Hank. I know what Pathways capabilities are and what you've done throughout the state of Tennessee. I think you guys in Alabama also. And Eric, of course, I'm on your board at River City Capital, and I've watched what you've done in the past year and a half. I'd like to start it off, Hank. Can you just and I talk because I know you guys so well. I talk matter of factly, but I want people to know as much as I know about you guys. So I want you to describe, Hank, the profiles of a typical client that comes to your organization for access to capital at Pathway.
Certainly, Sean, and thanks. And Sean, I can't see you, but it's great to hear your voice. It's good to be together again. It's been way too long, man.
It's been a long time.
And I will be spending quite a bit of time in Memphis, as we will talk about here later. But no, I appreciate the opportunity to be with everyone today, and certainly appreciate sharing the stage with you and Eric. Lots of complementary work going on here, and I think that there's a lot of synergy happening in Memphis right now, particularly around the work that we're doing. So as a collective, so just real quick, a little bit on Pathway Lending. I'll be brief. I know we're short on time, but we're a mission-driven community development financial institution, much like River City. Our sole mission in life is to provide lending solutions and educational programs to support the development, growth, and preservation of underserved small businesses, affordable housing developers, and sustainable communities. So to that end, we're a lender first and foremost, but we also provide a high level of educational services that we'll talk about later. But typically our clients come to us with an opportunity, but they also come to us with a challenge. Our typical client profile is someone that has most likely been turned down at least once for a financing request by a traditional financing institution. They have an opportunity to grow their business. And they need some assistance. And typically that's a combination of capital and education. On the capital side, it's either to buy equipment, to buy inventory, playing out just general working capital, building expansion, footprint expansion of the building, anything that's going to help them grow that opportunity. Most of our clients are post-revenue. We don't do a lot of pre-revenue lending, although we do some, but the entrepreneur has to have a decent level of experience in the industry, as well as some pretty intense P&L financial management capacity. And we like to see people that are in like industries. So if you're in one industry and you want to change industries into a startup, we're probably not who you want to talk to. But if you're in an industry and you want to stay in that industry and start your own business, there's probably an opportunity for us to chat. So our typical loan sizes range from $5,000. We can go all the way up to 3 million. Our average loan size this year is running about $185,000. And that's for a variety of different things. In our history of our organization, we've loaned since 1999, we've loaned almost $400 million. In 2018, I think this is something that's important to point out. We created a partnership with Epicenter and 3 financial institutions in Memphis and launched the Memphis Small Business Opportunity Fund. Since that time, we've done almost we have a $50 million pool of capital. We've loaned almost $9 million of that, and 79% of those funds have gone to minority-owned businesses. So much like Eric, we have a target market. 60% or more of our lending has to go to one of 3 or 4 target markets. Those are African-American or Black-owned businesses, low and moderate income geographies or census tracts, and low and moderate income entrepreneurs. We also have a big focus on veteran and women-owned businesses. We have a Veterans Business Opportunity Center and a Women's Business Opportunity Center. So the variety of combination of services that we provide to our clients, knowing that they've got opportunities to grow. They've been turned down most likely more than once by a financial institution. A lot of times that's because of credit score. And I say that credit score doesn't matter to us. It does to a degree, but we do not have a minimum credit score for our borrowers. We like to work with our borrowers and provide them with opportunity. When we got started in 1999, we were a small business just like the small businesses that we serve. So we understand what it's like, and I've been here since day one, and it has not been without its challenges or its successes. And so we like to celebrate those, but we also like to celebrate our clients and the communities that they serve. And the more we can do to get capital and get clients capital ready to work within our programs and with our footprint across the state of Tennessee, specifically in Memphis, where we have a large concentration of assets. We're excited about being there and excited about helping as many people as we can. So.
Hey, Hank, could you briefly talk about the educational and technical assistance programs that Pathway offers and how business owners can access them?
Yeah, certainly, Sean. Thanks. It was pre-COVID, it was a lot different than it is post-COVID. I guess we're not post-COVID yet. I'm being a little optimistic, it seems. But we typically did a lot of one-on-one and a lot of classroom-based training, and it was mobile. So we did it in a variety of different markets, and Memphis was one of those. And with the recent situation that when we've gone to a lot of technology-based and more what I would call kind of universal type of training. But just for instance, last year we did over 2,000 clients came through our training programs. We delivered almost 20,000 hours of training, and we did 293 classes. So it's a variety of different things. Most of it is technology-based, available through our website, which is pathwaylending.org. We have a whole learning section on our website. If you go there, again, that's pathwaylending.org. And it's a variety of different types of education, from one-on-one, where we actually connect via Zoom or video or whatever we want to call it, to really work with clients, to larger curriculum-based, to even kind of multi-week curriculum-based courses. We do a lot of cohort and mentoring type of classes. We have an emerging developer program for Black-owned development firms, as well as women-owned development firms that are wanting to get into, maybe take that step from being a contractor to a developer owner. It's a 6-week class that we work with. We piloted it in Nashville, and we're happy to be bringing it to Memphis as part of this new program we just launched with the Medical District Collaborative that hopefully some of you saw. We have a new loan fund with the Medical District Collaborative, which is great. We have a discovery program, which is basically in 9 weeks, you take a business idea to a reality and a business plan. We do a lot of blue sky, which is like, I've got this great idea, but I really don't know how to form it and bring it around. So that blue sky is another very popular one of our programs. The longer, maybe the shorter curriculum based, the 3-4 hour, maybe less types of classes around government contracting. We did one around sustainability called Coaching for the Comeback. That's very COVID comeback related, which is very interesting and been hugely popular. And then we've got another one that's entrepreneurship through acquisition. We find that we are helping more and more entrepreneurs, especially in this day and time, and in the environment that we're in, actually acquire businesses that are going concerns that may have had a little bit of a hiccup during the past 18 months or so, but are still good business opportunities and good business ideas. And so we do a lot of work there. And then on the veteran side, we do a lot of work with our veterans and do a lot of work on base. And we have Boots to Business, conquering the transition as veterans are coming out of service and they want to make that transition from, being in service and serving our country, which we are very, very grateful for, to make that transition into the world of entrepreneurship, and what type of disciplines does that take and how do you make that leap? So we spend a lot of time doing that as well. So, but just about anything that you all as an entrepreneur would need from an education perspective, we can provide. And then we also have a team of accountants that work with our loan customers on what we call business advisory services, doing really in-depth one-on-one technical assistance training, everything from QuickBooks to marketing to cash flow management, just anything a business might need. We combine that with the capital resources that we have, and really think that 1-2 punch, or that combination of resources is what makes our business successful, and is what allows us to serve as many clients as we do and have as much impact in the community as we try to have. So
that's great. And I'm going to circle back to that later on the TA for the more seasoned business. Eric, can you describe the profiles of a typical client that comes to your organization, River City Capital, for access to capital?
Sure. First, let me say thank you, Sean, and to Lawrence, and to Giselle, and everyone involved for inviting me to be here today. With River City Capital, we're very similar to Hank and Pathway Lending, but there are some differences, largely around size. We are a much smaller CDFI that solely operates in Memphis and Shelby County. Our average loan size is about $40,000. Right now, we will lend anywhere from $500 is the smallest loan we've ever made, and $300,000 is our current maximum. Most of the loans that we make are working capital loans, similar to what Hank described, and/or we have made loans relative to real estate projects where small developers needed some access to cash flow their renovations to their projects. We too don't have a minimum credit score, but we do look at credit amongst a host of things. And what might be a little unique to us because we are centered around community development and neighborhood revitalization, we weigh in the neighborhood impact that your business will have if it's located in a community. We try to think about whether it's going to occupy what was a vacant space, if it's creating jobs and there's opportunities for people in the community to be able to obtain those jobs. So we weigh those things in as well as the normal traditional underwriting process. About 94% of our borrowers are African American. 88% would be considered low to moderate income. So we primarily lend to Black businesses in Black communities or Black and brown communities that are creating jobs. We have as a mission 3 goals, which are around creating jobs, increasing income, and building wealth among people of color. So we think about those 3 things with every loan we make, and how we have an opportunity to further those 3 goals.
Hey, Eric, can you, with that being said, the question after that was going to be, as a Memphis and Shelby County based CDFI, can you describe how your organization works to improve the neighborhoods and communities within the Memphis and Shelby County area? And I know there's as far as Community Lift and River City Capital have seemed to be intertwined, but if you want to talk about both organizations, you can do it.
Okay. Yeah, so we view economic development and community development go hand in hand. Oftentimes they are separated in Memphis, but we view you can't separate community development from economic development. Most often economic development is associated with the attraction or relocation of businesses and/or the support for businesses and entrepreneurs. And so what we say is those businesses have to locate somewhere. And when they do locate, they locate in a neighborhood. And so how do we become intentional in thinking about how do we provide additional support for that business and that neighborhood? Obviously, if the business is located in a community, it's providing either goods or services that improve the quality of life for people in that community, which then gets us back to, on the lift side, how do we create a thriving Memphis for all? So what we tend to do on the community development side, we work through community development corporations. So we try to see how we can cluster our work. Prior to 2020, as Sean knows, River City Capital was limited to just 5 targeted neighborhoods. We no longer do that. We've expanded to make our loans available city and county-wide. But prior to that, we worked in some targeted communities of Fraser, Binghamton, Soulsville, the Medical District, and Whitehaven. And then even within those communities, we drew a subset where we said, okay, how do we concentrate our efforts so over time you could see a difference in the manifestation of our work? What's probably been most notable, we targeted for a number of years on Broad Avenue and made loans up and down that street to support its growth in a combination of ways. But in addition to that, we're working with our CDCs who then think about how do you support the housing, how do you make sure the community is safe. We have partnerships with city and county government to think about a comprehensive approach to address some of these other things around how do we do the streetscape, how do we improve lighting on the street, and all of these other things so that our investment is being leveraged not only by the private investment of the entrepreneur, but then being leveraged by public investment from city and county in these targeted communities where you can begin to see change over time. We've done a lot of work in Soulsville and continue to try to target some of our efforts there at the intersection of Mississippi and Walker and College and Macklemore, supporting a number of initiatives there. And then most recently, we've been focusing in Whitehaven, investing in a number of businesses along Elvis Presley, and then one just off of Elvis Presley. If y'all haven't been to Exactly, please check it out. There's a great restaurant, and one of our few startups that we've invested in has been Mugging Coffee, also in Whitehaven as well. So Sean, I hope that answered your question, that we try to take a comprehensive approach and we bring a lot of partners to the table so that we can leverage our dollars with public and private dollars.
Yeah, it does. You know, and it leads into this question, and I'm going to ask. You know, if you look at Hank's model, you know, you see they have more seasoned business companies that have more experience, bigger balance sheets, more consistent P&Ls. Yet there's still a need at times within the business cycles where they need financial education and technical assistance. Where are you with, you know, with River City Capital? And I know, of course, being on the board that we've talked about it and you made an effort, and I know that you have clients who we've targeted the need for those services. But where are you as a leader, and your view on how soon that's going to be a little more proactive?
Sure. So what we do now, just so everyone knows, because we're much smaller, we don't have the capacity to provide. So we leverage partnerships. When we have clients who come to us who are either have received a loan or we think they have a really good idea and just need a little technical assistance to get them over the hump so we can put forth a good application for the board to approve, we have raised dollars to pay for what we call a program called Consulting on Demand. So if we see a client that needs a little help with some financials, River City Capital will pay for CPA time to work with that client to address that. We also try to bake into that time that the CPA works with the client on trying to build their own personal capacity so that they can understand the work and be able to carry it forward afterwards. But also we try to use, we use Black-owned subcontractors for our Consulting on Demand so that we see this as a B2B opportunity. So we connect our borrowers with Black CPA. 60% of the time, what we found with this program is that the client has continued to utilize that person's services. So we've had a bit of a B2B success with that program. And we do it if they need. We've paid for attorneys. We've paid for people to help companies with logistics support. thinking through business management decisions, as well as CPAs for financial assistance. So that's currently where we are given our current size and capacity. But over time, we know that technical support is critically important. But what we also understand too, at the end of the day, what Black-owned businesses need is contract. They need to get the contract, and in order to get the contract, they need to have the ability to be pre-approved or to have access to credit so that they can feel comfortable in applying and bidding on projects and opportunities. So we can't lose focus off the primary goal. Technical assistance is great, but the primary goal is to get these businesses the contracts that they need and deserve to expand and build wealth, which is our ultimate goal for us at River City Capital.
I got a question for both of you guys. The federal government has appropriated millions of dollars for small business assistance. Talk about funds received by your organization and how business owners can access these funds. Let's start with Hank.
Great, thanks, Sean. We have received some federal assistance, mainly through our local government partners in Nashville for that. But I know there are resources available through the local government partners in Memphis as well, but with Eric and others. But on the national level or the federal level, we did receive recently a CDFI award, and as well as River City. So congratulations, Eric. And we are deploying that capital typically to COVID impacted businesses. We do have a focus on COVID impacted businesses in our Memphis footprint, which is a little bit more regional, dips over a little bit. Basically, it's the Memphis MSA with a primary focus on inner city Memphis, city of. But we have received some of those dollars and are currently deploying them. The parameters around those are not much different than our normal underwriting process, although we are able to take a little bit of a, I guess, more flexible approach in terms of how we're putting the terms and amortization out, where we might go 5 to 7 years. We can maybe go 7 to 10 years on a COVID impacted business, where we might want to look at a debt service coverage ratio of 1 to 1. We might be able to get debt service down to 1.0. So we've got a lot of flexibility with that capital, and we also have some flexibility with the rates that we're charging. Our typical rates range anywhere from 7 to 10%. Some days, we can get a little bit less than that, but we're actually able to pass this money along in the 5 to 5.5% range. Again, all COVID related, impact related, primarily focused again on our target markets, which are Black-owned businesses, low and moderate income geographies, low and moderate income entrepreneurs, and then women and veteran-owned businesses as well. But we are very fortunate to have received funding from the federal government, and very grateful to be able to bring that money to market. And I think we are going to see an impact, particularly in our urban areas. And again, we are doing a lot in Memphis right now. If you look at our balance sheet, which is about $250 million in assets, about 50 million of that right now is concentrated in Memphis and Shelby County, primarily in the city of Memphis. And so we have a very large asset base there, and a very longstanding commitment to the city. We've been there essentially since 2004. Really kind of launched the large fund, the $15 million fund in 2018, as I mentioned earlier. But being able to combine some of these federal resources with some of our local private financial institution resources, as Eric has talked about, and really have an impact on the businesses that need it, and the businesses that are providing what I call essential services in their neighborhoods, that if they didn't exist, then the neighborhood wouldn't have the service. And that goes everything from grocery stores to whatever, you name it, and what we would consider to be real, part of the ecosystem and infrastructure and part of the fabric of the community. So we're right along with Eric. We're looking for impact. We're trying to figure out how we can deploy these dollars as effectively as possible. And we've been very fortunate to be able to receive some federal as well as some state assistance through this interesting time we've been through for the last 18 months. So
that's great. Thanks a lot, Hank. What about you, Eric?
Yeah, we were fortunate too. It's called the Rapid Response Grant, although it wasn't a rapid response in terms of the government reviewing the applications, but we'll take it nevertheless. And just to be clear, these were dollars for CDFIs to support lending activity. A lot of people thought that these were dollars to make additional grants to businesses. So just to kind of reiterate what Hank was saying, that these particular dollars were to support our organizations to be able to continue to make affordable, low interest loans to businesses that have been adversely affected by the pandemic. So we did receive an award of some dollars and are actively planning to disperse those funds and are doing so now. We're underwriting a couple of loans related to that. Just on a side note, we were fortunate enough to build some relationships within corporate Memphis or nationally. Cummings Inc. Donated $1 million to our organization, and we deployed and did make $20,000 grants to Black businesses across the city. And we also received some funds from a national foundation for $700 some odd thousand, and we deployed those as well. And we recently were just contacted that they may have some additional resources for us to make more grants. Not a lot, not as much as the first time, but they're thinking somewhere between $300,000 and $400,000. So be on the lookout for that as we may be able to make a few more grants to some businesses that have been adversely affected, that have really seen revenue loss and profit loss.
Yes, okay, cool. All right. I mean, yeah, I mean, you have to stammer and be at a loss for words when you talk about the pandemic. So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've watched both of you guys over the years, and I watched what you guys did during COVID. It was Herculean. In the 20 seconds, I want to circle back to two niches that you guys have that I want to talk about real quick. But in 20 seconds, Hank, tell me, how does someone engage your organization? How does a business owner prepare to sit down with your organization?
The number of ways. Right now, I would suggest that the easiest thing to do would be to work through our Epicenter partner and Anthony Young and the Access to Capital program that they have there. Unfortunately, we are down a lender in the market. So that's why I said, Sean, I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time there, but we are rebuilding our team. So two things. One,
lunch on you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you come on, man. Yeah, exactly. Come on, man. Hey, we rely on we rely on our community partners as well, like you and Eric and others, particularly our financial institution partners. But yeah, just in short, we try to drive a lot of work to our technology platform that we built on our website, and that's probably the easiest and honestly the most impactful and effective way to get in touch with us right now, because the response is almost immediate. You get assigned to a loan officer, and we start the process. So again, all of that is at pathwaylending.org. And then working through our community partners, which Eric would be one, Sean, you're one, our bank partners, but we've really got that relationship with the Epicenter and are super excited about being downtown now in the Terminex building and the Innovation Center with them. And Anthony Young does a great job of helping us not only get our clients capital ready, but also working with us to help us build pipeline for potential opportunities. So a variety of different ways, but right now probably the easiest thing to do. More to come on our reemergence in the market, but more to come on that. But I think the bigger piece and the easiest thing to do would be to go to our website. And that's where all of our
what about you, Eric?
Just real quick. One of the things I've learned in banking is relational. So contact us, reach out to Babacar Chow. His email is Babacar, BABACAR @communitylift.org. Set up a time to meet with him, talk through what you want to do, and then Babacar will then walk you through all of the steps. I always find that's the best and most efficient way to engage with us and not waste a lot of time on the back end.
Hey guys, I know we have to go. There's two niches that you have that I was hoping that we could get Eric, you to talk about it maybe at another time, the minority contractor factoring program, Shelby County and Memphis City businesses. Hank, you guys are doing something with the minority developer training. And also you've got that C-PACE, and I think, which is probably gonna be designed for bigger developers, but coming from New York, you know, that's pretty huge. But guys, I thank you. And I thank you for your time. I know Lawrence is ready to kick us off. And Hank, when you come to town, Hank, we got lunch. It's on me this time, okay?
No worries, man.
All right, man. I can't wait to see you. And Lawrence, thanks a lot.
All right, no problem. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.
Thank you all for the
All right,
opportunity.
guys, take care.
Pleasure.
People were
Sean,
supposed
thanks,
to-
guys.